Hello everyone, I am Maximiano Bogado III. Along with me are my group mates Sarah Joy Pitogo, Janine Ributa, James Michael Rocha, and Georgian Brian Salinas. Our group was assigned to report about the Asian literature. Now, by the end of this discussion, we will be able to describe the people, land, culture, and literature of Asia, know who is Khalil Gibran and his famous piece, relate the message from the selected piece to our own experience, and to write a poem. Now, the first part will be discussed to you by James Michael Rocha and Janine Ributa.
Good day, everyone. My name is James Rocha, and here's my report. People and land. Asia is the most populous continent with a population of approximately 4.6 billion. It has many different languages, religion, and ethnic groups. With thousands of different languages being spoken throughout the continent, Asia is renowned for its diverse language populations. The major language families include Austroasiatic, Altaic, Dravidian, Sino-Tibetan, and Indo-European. The three most common religions in Asia are Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity, and different native religion practices. Land. Asia's topography is tremendously varied, ranging from the enormous Middle Eastern desert, such the Arabian Desert, to, to the imposing Himalayan mountain range, which contain Mount Everest, the highest point in the world. Some of the most important rivers in the world, including the Ganges, Yangtze, Mekong, and Tigris Euphrates rivers, are most found in the continent. The Great Wall of China, the Japanese archipelago, the Siberian taiga, and the Arabian Peninsula are the examples of natural phenomena that contribute to the distinctive landscapes of that continent.
Culture. Asia has a rich and diverse cultural heritage that has been shaped by thousands of years of history, philosophy, and traditions. There are common cultural characteristics seen in many Asian countries includes reverence for elders and a strong feeling for family and community. Sushi, curries, dim sum, and kebabs are a few well-known examples of diverse and well-known Asian food. Asian culture is deeply rooted in traditional arts such as calligraphy, martial arts, tea ceremonies, and diverse genre of music and dance. Asian holidays like Diwali in India, Chinese New Year, and Ramadan in nations with a majority of Muslims are joyfully observed. Literature. Ancient texts from Asia date back thousands of years, giving rise of a lengthy and rich history for the genre. The Ramayana and Mahabharata, two epics from India, as well as Chinese classics like The Art of War by Sun Tzu and Journey to the West by Wu Qingyin, are few famous examples. Spiritually, morality, and the state of human conditions are frequently explored themes in Asian literature. It typically references philosophical movements including Taoism, Buddhism, and Confucianism. Asian writers have achieved international popularity in modern era including Haruki Murakami of Japan, Salman Rushdie of Indian descent, Orhan Pamuk of Turkey, and Arundhati Roy of India. So these are the examples of their works. So Haruki Murakami is a Japanese author who focuses his writing on magical realism. Yet, this genre is fluid and Murakami's novel range from fantasy to non-fiction. Magical realism is characterized by inclusion of fantastical elements in the fiction that appears realistic. He is also the author of the novels Hard-Boiled Wonderland and The End of the World, Norwegian Wood, Dance, 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 South of the Border, West of the Sun, The Wind of Bird, The Wind Up Bird Chronicle, and Sputnik Sweetheart. So, Salman Rushdie is best known for his fifth book, The Satanic Verses, which prompted a fatwa against him in 1989. But over the past 40 years, he has published 16 others, including Midnight Children, the winner of the 3 Booker Awards, and his latest novel, 2 Years, 8 Months, and 28 Nights. Next is Orhan Pamuk of Turkey. Is well known aware of society around him in his novels deal with the themes of history, politics, and culture. East-West encounter, tradition and modernity, secularism and blasphemy. He is one of the pioneers of the postmodern historical novel, flourished after 1990. Pamuk's novels include Silent House, The White Castle, The Black Book, The New Life, My Name is Red, and Snow. Next is Arundhati Roy. She is an Indian author best known for her novel, The God of Small Things, which won the Booker Prize for Fiction in 1997 and became the best-selling book by a non-expatriate Indian author. So, poetry has also been significantly influenced by Asian nations, including works by well-known poets like Rumi of Persia, Rabindranath Tagore of India, and Li Bai of China. So, here are the examples of their works. First is Rumi of Persia. So, Rumi was a great Sufi mystic and poet in Persian language, famous for his lyrics and for his didactic epic Masnavi Manavi or spiritual couplets, which widely influenced mystical thought and literature throughout the Muslim world. Next, so Tagore wrote not only poems but also short stories, dramas, novels, and essays. He was awarded the world-famous Nobel Prize for Literature for his famous book of poetry called Gitanjali in 1913. So Tagore's poems are virtually untranslatable, as are his more than 2,000 songs, which achieved considerable popularity among all classes of Bengali society. So, Li Bai of China, one of the greatest poets in the Tang Dynasty. The Tang Dynasty era was a golden age of China's poetry, and Li Bai's works made up a major part of this. A large numbers of poems from this period still survive today, and they have been translated into many languages all over the world. So Li Bai is one of the most famous and well-known respected poets of the era. That's all. Thank you.
Now I'm going to report about the one of the most prominent books in Asia, which is entitled The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. Now just a short background about Khalil Gibran. He was a Lebanese American writer, poet, and visual artist. He is best known for his book The Prophet, published in 1923. The Prophet has been translated into over 100 languages and is described as one of the best-selling and highly recommended books. So this is the synopsis of The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. The Prophet is about Prophet Al-Mustafa, who has lived in Orphalis for over 12 years. When he finally leaves for his home country, The people of Orphalese gathered to bid him farewell and ask for his guidance on essential aspects of life. The book is divided into 26 short chapters that are Prophet's responses to questions posed to him at farewell. These questions range from love, work, joy, and sorrows, prayers, and pleasure, to name a few. The main message of the Prophet is that we should be glad of the experience of coming into the world, even if it seems full of pain, because after death, we will see that life had a pattern and a purpose, and that what seems to us now as good and bad will be appreciated without judgment as good for our souls. The Prophet's teachings are ultimately the way to a universal spiritual freedom and a good, happy life, though not without difficulties, in fact, the same difficulties of human condition that everyone else. The next part is some of the salient points from the Prophet, and that is to be reported by Sarah Joy Pitogo and Georgine Bryan Salinas.
Work for meaning, not money. Work is love made visible. And if you cannot work with love but only with distaste, it is better that you should leave your work and sit at the edge of the temple and take alms of those who work with joy. For if you bake bread with indifference, you bake a bitter bread that feeds but half man's hunger. So, on this piece of writing, and the book entitled The Prophet by Khalil Gibran, he wants us to understand the meaning behind this piece. So, it can be shocking how much of our lives are spent working. Even so, Gibran not only argues that work is essential in our lives, he also argues us to work with love. For the attitude we bring to our works affects us and everyone around us. How we view our work impacts our well-being. For some, work is a paycheck. For others, work is a means to improve status or self-worth. But for the luckiest people, who work is enjoyable, meaningful, and allows them to pursue a purpose. In other words, work is a calling. And indeed, people who view their work as a calling have greater life, health, and job satisfaction than those who don't. This holds for students as well, like me, like you, like us. Many of who in today's educational environments are experiencing tremendous pressure to succeed, but oftentimes finding their schoolwork meaningless, both of which negatively impact their mental health. In contrast, students who are committed to a purpose shows higher levels of well-being and positive emotions. Many have never actually thought about connecting their passions with future work, let alone anything it. But keep trying. Keep loving what you do, because that will make you succeed.
I chose love and death from the piece of the story to relate to my own experiences. Love gives not but itself and takes not but from itself. Love possesses not, nor would it be possessed, for love is sufficient unto love. The statement love possesses not, nor would it be possessed, for love is sufficient unto love expresses the idea that love does not seek to possess or be possessed by another entity, as love is self-sustaining and self-sufficient. When we say that love possesses not, it means that love does not have a possessive nature. Love does not try to control or own the object of its affection. It acknowledges and respects the individuality and freedom of the other person. Love is not about having power over someone, but rather about nurturing a connection based on mutual respect, trust, and support. I have learned that love is not to possess, but to embrace and cherish. Like Gibran's words, I understand that love is a sacred dance, where two souls intertwine, yet remain free. I have experienced the transformative power of love, allowing it to shape my relationship and nurture my spirit. Second piece is about death. For what it is to die but to stand naked in the wind and melt into the sun. And what is it to cease breathing but to free the breath from its restless tides that it may rise and expand and seek God unencumbered. This line suggests that dying is akin to being exposed and vulnerable like standing naked in the wind. It also implies a sense of merging or dissolving, similar to how one would melt into the warmth and brilliance of the sun. The second line is focusing shifts to the act of ceasing to stop breathe. It suggests that when we stop breathing, our breath is liberated from the constant ebb and flow, allowing it to ascend, expand, and seek a connection with the divine or what we call God, without any hindrances or burdens. I have confronted the impermanence of life with grace and acceptance. Drawing inspiration from Gibran's teaching or words, I have embraced the notion that death is but a transition into a realm of eternal connectedness. This understanding gives me the courage to live each day fully, cherishing the beauty of each moment and leaving a meaningful legacy for future generations.
So the last part is that I am going to recite a short poem made by our group, and this is about family. In the warmth of family's embrace, love shines in every smiling face. Through thick and thin, we stand as one, a bond that can't be undone. Family, a love that's always near. Through every joy and every tear, together we laugh, together we strive, in this bond our hearts come alive. Family, a treasure, strong and true. Through thick and thin, I am with you. In each other's love, we find our way, side by side, come what may. So that ends our report. Thank you so much for listening and watching. I hope you have learned about Asian literature. By ending this video, I would like to leave you this verse from the Bible, from the book of Deuteronomy 31:6. Be strong and courageous. Do not fear or be in dread of them, for it is the Lord your God who goes with you. He will not leave you or forsake you. Bye.